Welcome to another episode of Mr. Mustache Craps. We appreciate your patronage and looking at us and comments and likes. Appreciate the great number of viewers we've had on our last couple of videos. Definitely the site is, or the channel is growing. Always remember to subscribe and like. We certainly appreciate it. And please feel free to put comments down below. And I really enjoy responding to comments. Even constructive criticism is always helpful. So today we're going to do a basic throwing practice, have some just general conversation, might hit on a couple of topics. A good topic I found out was table etiquette. So we might launch into that again a little bit. I would love to know your pet peeves when it comes to table etiquette. So anyways, we're going to get started. I'm going to do a 2V set, which is out of my norm. But for a warm-up, why not? Three, four, seven. Okay, well, come out roll. That wouldn't necessarily be bad. And the 2V set, I'm going to look up in post the list of which numbers are supposed to be most predominant or the benefits of which dice that you use. Hard six. I'll go ahead and I'll mark that over here. So how are you today, Madeline?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I appreciate your coming to assist me again. It always makes it a lot easier, and I'm sure the show is more enjoyable. With just a few more viewers, we could actually do live streams, which looks like that might be a fun thing to do. 415. Oh, the point would be 6 also. I already marked.
Yeah, you marked it down there.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you would like to comment and let me know your favorite dice set that you use and why that might be, 6, 4, 10. I would certainly be glad to incorporate that into one of my shows.
You said the point was 6. I put it on.
Yes. Oh, good catch. Hard 4. Okay. So table etiquette, as I mentioned in my other video specifically about it, it's all our 3, 4, 7. That's no fun. Try another round. I'll try the 3V this time.
Start over?
Yep. We're going to clear the chips off. So that would have been a 6 count. And we'll set a new point. Okay. So for table etiquette, yeah, if you would like to comment, what are your biggest pet peeves? Because we can all improve, and if we all educate new players, our world will become a little bit better. 415.
Point is 5.
Two, 4, 6. Yeah, I've been on tables in the past where it's just, and it's not so much that they're new players, they're just inconsiderate players, and it's just really frustrating to me when 516 when people are throwing down bets at the last moment while your arm is moving to throw the dice. Even though the dealers do call out dice moving, either some people are just not aware of what's being said or going on, but they don't seem to care. 358. But this is not going to be a complaint session. That's just one of my pet peeves. And again, I'm using a 3V set right now. Hopefully we'll have a better round than we did on the last time. 314. Okay. 2, 3, 5.
That's point.
Yay. So Madeline has been to the casino with me. She's kind of like a good luck charm for me. Probably a better way of wording it is she 516. She makes me use common sense. So when the table's cold and I'm wanting to make it hot, she will pull me off and be like, all right, let's come back and fight another day or another time. 2, 3, 5 again. Starting to see a trend in some of these numbers here. So if you have a friend that can, that goes with you to the casino, if you can be, so to speak, accountability partners, that might help in bad times. Hard 4. I'll mark that. Because I certainly have nothing against drinking, because I do drink. But if I've had not too much to drink, but just the alcohol will sometimes impair my judgment just enough to where I'm like, I'll have one more throw at the dice because I know I can do better, and then it turns out to be the opposite lots of the time.
6, 2, 8.
6, 2, 8. So that might be a helpful tip. Another video that I'm going to be making within a day or so, 2, 4, 6, is another one on
That's
throwing.
point.
Oh, yay! Is throwing accuracy from different points on the table to different points on the table, because we can't always have our favorite spot, whether it be stick left 1 or 2 or whatever. 3, 6, 9. Point is 9. And it's actually kind of interesting because, at least for me, because I am used to stick left 1 or 2, and with my grip and toss, that's pretty much the only ones I can play with or play from. Hard 4. It's pretty much the only ones I can play from without having to do a completely different grip. And I'll just, if you can't really see, I'll come down here. So when I set up the dice, 3V set. So I do a pincher with my middle and thumb, and then with my finger spread, I go up onto the point of my index finger and lean forward a little bit. And what that does, it puts the dice at an angle, but it also helps me to keep them, because I can pivot if I need to make sure that it's the front of the dice are parallel with the back wall. So when I throw, I have my throw, which that would have been a sucky number, but we don't throw from 2 feet away, and you already know that. So that's my grip. I have tried the more traditional grips, the 3 finger with the thumb, and I can do it. So if I'm on the end of the table, that's what I have to throw, like that, with a little pivot motion or pendulum motion. I've also tried, just, a 2V and a 2 finger with thumb throw. I can function with those, but my most practiced is my weird grip. The one thing you do need to be mindful of, actually, with any dice grip, your fingers, are they clean? They're always going to have a natural oil coating to some degree. And if you pinch the dice, and when you throw, it can cause the dice to separate as you spread your fingers. If your fingers are a little bit sticky. Same thing for just a traditional grip. It can affect the dice. So lots of times you'll see me stretch my fingers, which I do for flexibility anyway, but it's also just getting that little residue off. Now, if you're in the casino and you start going like that, well, they're going to say something, but and also if you use a pincher grip, you want to pinch them very lightly, enough to hold them together so you can move them around without them spinning and falling out. But you want it to be a light grip so they just kind of naturally come out of your hand. But anyways, that's just a quick close-up look at my grip. So back to the 3V practice. Three, 1, 4. So also, in reference to my grip, and reference to where you throw from and throw to, the angle of the dice when they hit will react differently. So if I throw a dice here, they're going to hit the table and then the wall. But it's going to react slightly different than if I throw the dice here to here, or from here to here. And that's because of the angles of the cone and the angle of the dice and how they hit them. So experimenting is a big thing, and practicing with that. And like I said, I can get into that in my next video. 3, 4, 7.
7 out.
That was a lousy roll. I probably talked too much. But anyways, that would have been 1. The 7 would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 count. That's respectable.
Not too bad.
So on that note, I'm going to end our stream. I thank you very much for your patronage. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day and be safe.